Well, hello, my beautiful Pisces. Welcome to my channel. This is BYGONE here with your monthly reading for February 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam. Okay, let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful. There's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Pisces, this is your monthly reading for February. I'm going to get all of your cards first before I connect to an outcome. Also, I want to remind you that I've opened up a competition for one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that a little bit later on because some people are here just for the reading and I don't like to waste anyone's time. Also, a wonderful happy birthday to all you late February Pisceans. I hope you have the most magical time indeed. Let's see what is in store for your month ahead and let us begin. Well, we've officially moved into Aquarius season, and this month it encourages you to tap into your free spirit as well as your inner rebel. This is a time to try new things, embrace your individuality, be flamboyant, and discover what really makes you unique. You may feel a strong desire to connect with others this month, be more sociable, involve yourself in the community more, or fill your diary with new events and experiences. Maybe even jump into training for a charitable event or maybe even organize giving back to the community in some way. Aquarius season asks you to be open to the alternative. So you might experiment with new recipes, watch independent theater or cinema, feel inclined to catch a really out there art exhibition, seek experimental documentaries or books on the unknown, or even try a new look or style, or maybe even expand your knowledge with higher learning. It's time to embrace the unfamiliar. This is also a month where your genius comes forward with flashes of insight and eureka moments as you innovate all aspects of your life, challenge the status quo, and of course find fresh new pathways to complement any routines or responsibilities that you have to adhere to. Because hey, that's life. We got to do what we got to do. But this month it adds extra creative flair, a spring in your step, and a desire to shake things up a little. Now, if you don't know it already by now, February reminds you that you are fabulous. February is often associated with a very commercialized day of romance, but whether you're in a relationship or not, this season really dials up, the desire to romance your life a little bit more, as Venus, the planet of unconditional love, offers an extra dreamy feel as it cozies up to Neptune. It's a perfect time to have a heart-to-heart conversation with those that you really care about, strengthen friendships, relationships, and most importantly, deepen the connection with self. You may feel compelled to book a date night with yourself this month and do something really special to remind you that you've come a long way, to really give yourself permission to celebrate the wonderful you. And the most exciting planetary shift this month, and it's my favorite, Jupiter stations direct, and in so doing it shines its benevolence on us once more, with rays of good luck and abundance. If you've been receiving tough lessons that you didn't ask for, not seeing results, feeling defeated or deflated, or even submerged in a deeply reflective growth period. It could be that we've had Jupiter and Mars retrograding, but finally the light at the end of the tunnel appears on the 4th of February as Jupiter expands opportunity, curiosity, good fortune, and most importantly, it sets you up to receive the rewards for all of your hard work. Especially since Aldebaran, the star of wealth and good fortune, it supports Jupiter's pivot. Now Mars turns direct on the 23rd of February, which increases your energy, your motivation, passion, and ambition. Productivity will reach climactic levels. It's a great time to manifest and make life happen for you. And the North Node conjuncts Neptune in your sign, my beautiful Pisceans, emphasizing the call to experience the unfamiliar. Expect very vivid dreams during this period, and of course, wonderful original ideas. And on a global scale, please fast forward this part if you really don't want to hear it, we could see a bit of a wobble in the stock market, or at least an honest assessment of how things really are going under the surface bluster, which may even indicate an up-and-coming market correction. Now, this North Node can deliver rude awakenings, especially when partnering up with Neptune. It bursts the bubbles of illusion, especially when printing money out of thin air to float economies on hollow foundations. And when we reach March-April time, the cusp period between the two, Saturn could offer this strict correction, bringing reality to the surface with a bump. Now, the majority of planets are hanging out in water signs without the grounding of Earth, so we might see water-related events occurring around the world, in particular that underwater volcano that I keep seeing in my visions. But also, as there's a lack of planets positioned in Earth signs, we can see things shake up a little bit seismically and cause plates to shift on a larger scale. The Earth, of course, it moves all the time, but planets this month could destabilize some major fault lines. And with Uranus and Neptune energy running the show this month, expect the unexpected, especially the weird and the questionable, okay? Because Pluto will also continue to reveal corruption. Expect confirmation of some of the things that intuitively you probably already know is going on behind the scenes, because exposés will continue across the board. And Mercury, the 7th planet to join the planetary parade on the 28th of February, creates a beautiful arc across the sky. It's really one to see. It's going to be amazing. But on a personal level, it offers a shift, a solidarity that all you strive for is somehow coming together. And the moon makes a glorious alignment with Jupiter, making this month a perfect time to manifest, but also muscle in on better luck. Plus, dreamy Neptune in your sign, my beautiful Pisceans, could reveal a secret admirer. Ultimately, it's a great month to follow your heart and know that the universe has your back and supports you in all that you wish to achieve. Okay, but of course, you've got to be honest with yourself and take some action towards those goals as well. Now, I can see those big lifestyle changes for you this month. I feel like you're trying to maintain some sort of pattern or cycle that perhaps you've put into place at the beginning of the year. This could be an intention, a New Year's resolution, for example. I feel like you're trying to maintain something and keep on top of it and kind of like, resist a distraction or a temptation here. But I also feel like you are going to resist that, and I feel you're going to feel really proud of yourself this month too. Now, your first card there is the High Priestess. So this is a big month to believe in yourself, to have faith that everything is coming together. But, the High Priestess is mute, actually keeps her feelings and thoughts to herself. And I feel like privately, you could be working on something behind the scenes that is going to really change your life. This could be a personal development project. It could be a business project, an idea, whatever it is. I feel like keeping it to yourself until it's ready to reveal is a really good decision, because I feel you don't want to change the energy on that. Your privacy actually helps you be more productive, because once we kind of state an intention to somebody, if we tell someone our idea that we're going to do it, then suddenly when we feel there are days that we don't feel like doing it, it becomes a chore. We need to push through because we told someone we're going to do it. It's almost like we have to hold ourselves to account, which is wonderful, but it kind of changes the energy. So when you're doing something in private, that motivation to get it completed is amplified, and then you're ready to reveal when it's all done rather than feel like it's a chore. So I feel a lot of you could be working on something in private at this time. Now, it's a great month, of course, to heighten your intuition, to develop your skills, and this will be done in silence. This can indicate that at the beginning of the month, you feel like withdrawing into something. I mean, you've got the 8 of Cups. A lot of you are literally withdrawing from drama or conflict in some way, or any distractions, in order to work on something in silence. I feel also that you're working on something to challenge yourself. You've got the 6 of Wands there. There's some sort of success as well coming in that you may not tell anybody about for a while, or, at least until the end of February. It could be a piece of good news that comes in, or a heralded success, a victory moment, the triumph award. Perhaps some of you could pass a test get a qualification or a certification, but you want to wait until it's kind of formalized, or that you've got it in your hand, you know, because it could be a big win in February, and it's almost like you can't believe it until you see it, okay? So this can be that card of like believing in yourself, having faith, knowing that you've had a win, but also being cautious and not like, you know, telling people, or not really kind of like revealing it until it's solid, it's solidified, and you can kind of like prove it, or you can show it as fact, okay? Because you've got the Ace of Swords there and the King of Swords. Now, also, a lot of you, this is a big month for putting your ideas into practice. Some of you may be going solo this month, maybe independent business, becoming an entrepreneur. I feel like you've got a structure in place. You're taking accountability for your actions. I feel like you're disciplined, you're organized, and, you know, you'd be a great boss. So I definitely see at the end of the month there, a lot of you, you could be in a very entrepreneurial spirit. For some of you, you're already an entrepreneur working on your business. This could be you like implementing a new idea that will literally change everything. And for some of you, because I'm seeing lots of alarm clocks here in the water, it could be that you're setting multiple alarms for an important like meeting or an interview, or you know, an event that you don't want to miss, perhaps. But it could also be that you're changing your schedule or promising yourself to get up earlier in order to be more productive and get more done, so you have the afternoon off. Or perhaps you're changing the way that you work, you're shifting. For some of you, it could be night work, for example, or it could be that you're having second streams of income, and you are like trying to place your energy into two pathways so that you can not spread yourself too thin, but at the same time make sure that both are running efficiently. You know, if you're in the working environment, it could be that you are just, you know, working as usual, but there may be an important appraisal or meeting this month with someone in a position of authority that will change things for you. It feels very much like as an ending occurs, a beginning occurs, okay? Especially since you've got the Death card at the end there, and we've got the King of Swords and the Ace of Swords. So it could be the end of something heralds the beginning of like new status, new responsibility, or taking charge. For some of you, it could be international links. You could do something that goes viral if you're an influencer, or something that is seen by a lot of people. Could also be that you're thinking about where you feel like you belong. Some of you may even think about migrating a business, or need to change something in order to control it or diversify it. And I feel this is about having everything in order. Now, moving it away from the working environment, for some of you, you know, the end, the Death card could signal that, you know, it's retirement time, or you're thinking about your retirement. It could be that you are, you know, focusing on your projects and plans and what you're going to do in retirement, but ultimately it's going to give you time to get to know yourself deeper, have the time and space to really think about who you are, the journey you've had, who it's made you today, and how you want to move forward with freer time, okay? I definitely see with that 10 of Pentacles there that you have been investing, or you are replenishing any finances that perhaps you have been spending recently over the last couple of months, seasonal gifting and things like that. You're replenishing your financial pot, being stricter with your financial budget and staying on top of things. I feel some of you may even change the way you invest in the month of February as well. But this card, it indicates that you are trying to quieten the inner critic and really hear your heart, okay? Now, also, this card, as your starting card, it can indicate that the beginning of the month, it starts kind of slow, but it also means that you're trying to be in the flow. You're in a review period. Some of you may feel like you're only getting into the rhythm of the year now. You know, it's almost like your year starts February, okay? And, you know, this card can indicate that you're opening the door to your subconscious mind this month to really reprogram your brain in some way, because you do have very cerebral cards here. So it can be you looking at the nature of success, because of course success looks differently for everybody. For some people, success is health. You know, health is wealth, but also for some of you, it's money, or it's accomplishment, your reputation, which I definitely see here is increasing. I feel a lot of you, especially if you're in an industry, whether you work for a company or yourself, I feel like, people are going to know who you are. Your reputation speaks for itself. And I feel that, you are someone who finds solutions to problems. You don't see them as problems. You see them as opportunities to, stand out in some way. So I really feel that you're well known for whatever it is that you do. But also, this card on a more personal level, it can really indicate that you are reprogramming your mindset, to be more beneficial for you. It's almost like you asking questions like, how are you going to show up for yourself this month? How are you going to show up for yourself today? How are you taking charge of your energy, not procrastinating, not wasting time? What did you learn from yesterday so that you can reprogram today? It's like reviewing to remind yourself, that you can stop doing or feeling or accepting something that is negative or hurting you and rewrite your personal narrative. So I really feel that you're empowered this month and you're taking charge. That figure is literally sitting on a throne, in command, and I feel this is about you being in command of your environment, of your home space. There can be a gentle command as well. It doesn't have to be authoritative. It can be that you are realizing how much gravitas you have in a situation and almost like feeling the energy, spiritual energy as well, around you, that you have a force field and that you can, attract or repel anything towards you. And it's about being in command of your thoughts. Remember, this is connection to your higher self. And in stillness comes wisdom, but also in stillness comes the ability to tap into that power. Now, we do have the Eight of Cups, so this at grassroots is really a journey of discovery. It basically means you're seeking greater meaning. So it could be that you're connecting to your higher self, meditative practices, maybe even mindfulness or hypnosis for some of you. It could also be that you're diving deeper into spiritual practices or rituals this month in order to kind of like discover a new you or discover more about yourself. This card also indicates that, you've been where you're at for some time and you're in a review period in order to either stand out from the crowd or do something different or challenge yourself to keep things fresh, okay? This is the path that is right for you rather than the one that other people expect of you. So some of you could be walking away from something and it's not expected by other people, but it's time for you to do this, whatever this is. So it could be a relationship, it could be a marriage for some of you, it could be a toxic environment, it could be, a job, it could be, a country. For some of you, it's like something has run its course in your life and you're grateful for the lessons that it gave you, but it's now time to move on with this card, okay? Also, some of you may be looking at the nature of letting go itself, and that by doing that, letting go, which is one of the hardest things to do, we realize that you're moving on to something greater. You're moving on to something that is more beneficial, that will teach you new lessons, give you new perspectives. So, some of you, this is like taking stock. That figure walks away from 8 cups because this person has been there, done that, got the t-shirt, and now is moving on. So for some of you, you could be looking at where you've reached a plateau in your life, where you've hit a glass ceiling. It doesn't have to be in terms of your career, but it could be that you're moving into promotion vibes here, moving up the ladder. For some of you, it's something that you're told about that will transform your finances, but also transform your status and the way that you work. For some of you, it could be that you've been hitting the gym, you've been doing an exercise routine or a diet, and it was working, but suddenly it's plateaued, and you feel, okay, it's harder now to move to the next stage, to have a breakthrough period. So, you've got to try something different or new. So it could be that now you're trying a different exercise or not a different diet. Perhaps you're shaking up meals, or I'm not really sure. I'm just being given this energy of like just trying new things. This month is all about trying the alternative. So I feel this card is highlighting that you're looking at the alternative. For some of you, this could literally be that you're submerging yourself in documentaries on the unknown. This is a card of the unknown. It is the card of belief in the unknown. But the Eight of Cups is like you're searching for evidence, or you're searching for a missing piece, or you're searching for something. So a lot of you, this is a very explorative month. Just search for the alternative, and I feel like you're going to find success. You find the missing ingredient. A lot of you with that Six of Wands, it's a, a very important milestone in your year to date. It feels like your first victory or your first accomplishment. And, it could be a piece of news that you've been in search for some time, or it could be that suddenly you discover something that, helps you gather momentum. Now, the Six of Wands is, of course, good news. It represents, an accomplishment. So even at the beginning of February, it feels like you're on top of your goals, you're organized, you're accomplishing a lot. I'm being given an energy of you holding yourself to higher standards this month. You're not willing to coast. You're not, willing to, accept any defeat. You're going to challenge anything head on. And also, I feel like you are someone who's ambitious, focused, paying a lot of attention right now to where you want to take life to next, because the Eight of Cups is like, what's next? You've reached a certain position and you don't want to just stay there. You are in search of the sun. The Sun card is the happiest, most positive, abundant card in the deck. And as you can see, this figure is off in search of the sun. And the Six of Wands indicates you have the energy to do it. There's a lot of support here. For some of you, it could be that if you're a parent, your child is going off to university or college this month and you support that person, but at the same time, there is a little bit of a lament that things have reached a milestone and now you're entering into a new era, for example, and you're cautious about it and you're anxious about it, of course, but I feel you're so proud of, your child, and they're going to go off and, do wonderful things and be very explorative. For some of you, it could be that you've decided to take a sabbatical. It could be that you're walking away from a position in order to go traveling, for example. Or some of you could literally be like on top of your goals and your dreams and all the tasks and responsibilities because you have a vacation coming up there too. I mean, some of you have literally come back from a vacation is what I'm seeing there, and you're trying to just get back into the flow of things, but I feel like you're supercharged, you're ready to go, and you're on top of things, inspired. And, this card, for some of you, if you want to be in the public eye, I would say, if you're in an industry where you're an influencer or you're someone who basically is well known or could have the potential to be well known publicly for what you do, I feel a lot of you are really thinking about how it compromises your privacy, okay, because of that High Priestess there and the Eight of Cups. Some of you may feel that fame and the trappings of fame are the price you pay for, your work. But I feel like you may actually find a way to kind of like have a quick getaway, for example, or go to a place where you are not known if you're someone who's like super famous. For some of you, it could also be that if you are unknown in your industry, suddenly you're catapulted to fame or to a position where people notice your work. If you're an influencer, this could be, a video that you do goes viral, or it could be that, some of you are getting your message out there. Some of you could be writing a book or, a screenplay or something that documents your journey, because of course this is a journey card. And you have the King of Swords and the Ace of Swords to speak your truth. If you're retired, you could be writing a memoir of your experiences, whether it's a personal journey of discovery or whether it is you submerging yourself in like writing a handbook or, maybe it's the knowledge that you have from the industry that you worked in. It could be some sort of passive income or even a course of learning online that you may put on there so that you can be free in your energy, but at the same time, earn money. This could be you feeling that way of life is you winning because you are having time to explore and have freedom, but at the same time make money on the side. Some of you also may get a bonus, or you may hear of some sort of bonus or increase in your finances. Doesn't have to be to do with your 401k or your job. It could be that you have a small win on something. But with the moon there and the Six of Wands with the Eight of Cups and the High Priestess, I would say you're keeping a win or extra money a secret at this time. You're not like splashing the cash and making people be aware or drawing attention to yourself. Maybe that's because of this day and age. Anyone who's like, displaying a lot of wealth, they have the potential to draw a lot of attention to themselves. And, I feel like looking at the energy, you don't want to do that at this time. But I feel some of you could treat yourself this month to something that you really wanted to purchase, okay? Now, also, this can indicate that a lot of you are overcoming obstacles at this time and, building in confidence. This is a leadership energy. This is a recognition that actually you've established yourself at something already, and now you're moving into the next stage. Because you've got the Tower and the High Priestess, this indicates you're reaching higher frequencies to revamp your life or restructure your life in some way. And, by restructuring, it means it's out with the old and in with the new. So a lot of you are changing your energy or your approach to something, and it just feels like exciting, spontaneous. And I feel like you are going to have a lot of support in the month of February as well. Now, this card can literally mean allow yourself to be seen. Some of you may have been a little bit in hermit mode for a while, or, operating off grid on something. Perhaps you've been squirreling away, trying to make a difference and a change in your life. But I feel this month you are going to be out there a little bit more. There's an invitation coming in that you will go to, and I feel like you may meet new people at this. Okay, so it seems alternative, whatever it is. It's not something that is readily available for you to go to all the time. So it could be like a new event or a festival or something that's maybe popping up in your area. And I feel that there is a real potential here to spark up a conversation with someone new. So if you're looking for love, I feel there's a potential to meet a person here, but I feel it's just conversating at this moment in time. That's what I see there. There is a dreamy feel to it, so there's a bit of chemistry going on, and you could potentially see this person as being someone that you would want to settle down with, but I feel like you're taking it easy and you're taking it slow. You're not allowing this person to kind of like, rush in. I feel it's a very kind of like heady connection where both of you really, it's like a meeting of minds, but both of you may be cautious. I feel you and this person, either you've been single for a long time, or perhaps, you always feel like the lone wolf in life, and it's really hard to connect to another person because you may have been hurt in the past, let down, or disappointed in love. I feel this person has had a very similar journey, so there could be an initial kind of like cautious getting to know each other, not really rushing in, but that's really endearing, and it also builds a solid foundation. It means this person, they really, respect the sanctity of a relationship, and they don't want to lead you on. They want to get to know you better because they realize that, of course, passion and chemistry is wonderful, and there is going to be a lot of that in this connection. But this person has learned that that's not sustainable. They're looking for a life partner, okay? So if you're looking for love, I feel like there's a strong potential for you to meet someone who will eventually become your life partner, but I feel you're not rushing into it, okay? And for those of you who are in a relationship, I feel like you're going to hear that your partner either wins something or does something that you're super proud of them for, and I feel there could be a major conversation about a big change. So this could be that either your partner, for some of you, it could be you as well, but it could be that there is some sort of major victory or win or accomplishment that comes in that changes everything. So it could be like a big work move, but it means moving to a different department or branch, or maybe even a different country for some of you. There's a major restructure going on here as well. Now, for some of you as well, with the Tower energy here, it could be that you are looking to revamp your life. For some of you, this could be your home space, okay? Because your 6th house is actually influencing you at the beginning of the month, and that's all about your daily routines, schedules, focusing on like paying bills, savings plans, budgets, repayment plans, basically your responsibilities and tasks. But this is also a house that may feel a little bit dull or boring, so you may want to revamp something or change the way you approach something in order to keep things interesting. But always remember, your 6th house is very important because it keeps life running smoothly. When all those tasks and responsibilities are pretty much taking care of themselves, you have more time to have fun or be spontaneous. Also, your 1st house is influencing you there at the end of the month, and that's all about yourself, your identity. And you may feel compelled to either revamp a look or make some new alterations or welcome some new additions to your wardrobe. You're really looking at what makes you unique, okay? Really standing out from the crowd. And this card is all about standing out, okay? And it can be that you are doing a lot of soul searching this month, which really sets you apart from a lot of people because you're really kind of identifying who you are and what you love and what you're about, okay? And when you have that confidence within yourself, that really is magnetic. So a lot of people are going to be drawn to you. Opportunities are going to be drawn to you because when you really identify what you want, which is these 2 cards, it's like you're in search of something that you want. the universe can deliver exactly that, because being precise is very important. Being direct is equally important, because the King of Swords and the Ace of Swords is all about being like in order, or being direct, or kind of like being concise about what it is that you want. Precise and I'm being given by my guides, precise and concise is what I'm being given. So for example, if you want love, if I asked you, what do you kind of want in a person? And if you say, well, I want someone who's kind and loving and funny. Okay, they're attributes that you really want, but can we go a little bit more precise on that? Can we get a little bit more deeper on that? Really visualize the sort of person you want. If I say to you, what kind of opportunity do you want? You want, well, one that pays a lot of money. Okay, well, what's a lot of money to you? Then you got to be really precise about the amount of money that you want. So I feel this month is about you really exploring deeper about what it is you want. What would really raise you up and make you happy? What would really set you apart and make you feel like you're accomplishing something at this time? As I said, a lot of you, it's, health. That 10 of Pentacles can indicate that you're investing in your health a lot this month. But this is a big soul-searching month for you to find your place in the world around you, how you connect to those people and circumstances in the world around you. And if you're unhappy with any part of your life, this is a great month to make some radical changes. But because your 6th house is influencing you, I would say a lot of restructure is going on in the home space. This could be you feeling suddenly compelled to do some DIY. Could also be that you are like giving things a lick of paint, or moving things around, or, upholstering new furniture, for example, or upselling in some way, or, I just get an energy of you kind of like getting like old pieces of furniture and revamping. And for some of you, you may even like sell that as well. I could see you making a business out of that too. But I feel this is about you kind of like in a period, of course, of self-reflection. You have the Moon card here. So this can indicate that you're deeply very sensitive in February and in your feels. And this could be because you're coming into your birthday season. So it's all about your legacy. It's about who you are, the journey you've had so far, and what you stand for, your belief system, especially with that High Priestess there. But it's also about where you feel like you give away your power, who drains your energy, what wastes your time. I feel like you're not about it. I feel like you're getting busy living and really trying to find a little bit more spontaneity, a little bit more fun, and really connect to things that bring you joy. So major changes happening this month. I mean, this is a card to romance your life a little bit more. And sometimes, especially when you sit with self, it can raise negative emotions as well as positive emotions. And we must acknowledge that both are important, because without the dark, we can't see the light. So it's really important to look at that shadow self. And I feel for some of you, you're coming out of a long, dark tunnel and you are about to see the light. I feel there's a lot of positive change here for you, but something big could be ending. And for a lot of you, it could be that you've been stuck in a cycle of repeat, or you've been stuck in something that just feels so familiar, not boring or dull, but I feel something that perhaps has kept you in the same spot for a while. Because, the Tower, it's not a negative card. It actually can be a very positive card, because it identifies where you need to come out of a comfort zone. The Tower is like a castle. We aspire to build solid foundations in our lives. We're told, society says we should, go and get an education, then get a solid job. Nowadays it's not for life, but back in the day it used to be for life, long-term position. You'll get a house, maybe with a partner, and build your idea of what it means to be in a family. Okay, so it's like the institution of what we believe we should be accomplishing for ourselves. And when we get to that position, we're like, okay, we have what we aspired to accomplish, because this card can indicate you've acquired a lot, or you've won a lot. You have a lot of success under your belt already, but now you're wondering what next, okay? And sometimes, if you have been very lucky to have worked super hard and purchased an apartment or a home, for example, it can be that, you got comfortable in that lifestyle, you got comfortable in that position, and you're really grateful for where you're at. But also you are aware of the human propulsion to move forward and keep things exciting. You want to be in the flow. That's what the Moon card is all about. So it can be that now you feel stable in a certain position, you want to go out and experience new things or hit new targets. So that's what I'm getting. This could be new targets in the gym. It could be new targets in your work, or, getting out into the neighborhood and basically exploring the alternative, you know, a new coffee store that's across town, or perhaps there's hidden pop-ups going on in your neighborhood with like festivals, for example. The Tower is basically coming out of the comfort zone, taking a leap of faith. For some of you, this could be that you're setting up a business or launching something, a new branch of your business, or you're deciding to leave a neighborhood in order to move to a new place. You know, it can feel chaotic because you have your whole life in boxes. You're moving, you're trying to keep life running smoothly, but at the same time, you are, you know, having a moment of upheaval by moving. The destination is really positive. You're going to feel great there, but it requires upheaval and change. So some of you, it is like you recognizing where you need to change and upheave your life in some way, or something perhaps that you've been reluctant to face. I feel like you definitely face it head on in the month of February, and it's something that perhaps you can't avoid. Like, I mean, for some of you, especially if you run a business, it could be like end of year receipts and end of year kind of like accounts that you're doing. You can't avoid it. You may have thought, oh, I got to do that, but you're on top of it. You're in the flow. You're being organized. You're being, you know, analytical. You're in your mind, being decisive and making sure that everything is as it should be. So, you know, I feel a lot of you, the thing that you've been avoiding, or perhaps the thing that you haven't had time to do and felt you had to avoid it because you just haven't had time, that is a thing that you will actually focus a lot more on and get to grips with in the month of February, okay? Also, I see a hidden opportunity here for you, something that you're not aware of. The Moon card often represents the universe orchestrating something behind the scenes. And when it's right to be revealed, the universe will deliver it to you. And you have an Ace of Swords. So I would say some sort of communication comes on in. And for some of you, it could be communication from a hierarchical figure or someone who's in a position of authority to help you with something. So it could be an important like letter, you know, something that is a legal letter. Or, I mean, for some of you, it could be that you're winning because you get a rebate, for example, tax rebate. For some of you, because it's definitely connected to finances with that 10 of Pentacles there. But when you have the Moon card, self-reflection, and the 10 of Pentacles, this is about you focusing on your family, you know, who you are, where you've come from, how you've been self-made, or also how your family supported you or didn't, depending on your circumstances, and how you overcame any, you know, challenges in your life. Because the Six of Wands is to overcome challenge. Some of you are literally breaking a generational cycle, and it is a very cathartic month where you realize you're tested and suddenly you see that actually the past, whilst it shaped you and informed you, it does not impede your happiness moving forward. And for some of you, I'm sending you a huge hug out there. If you are, I'm being given this energy of dissolving a marriage. So some of you are getting a divorce at this time because the 10 of Pentacles, you know, it's in the resistance position there. Firstly, I'm sending you a huge hug out there because that can be very challenging, but I also feel it sets you free, okay? And if you feel like you'll never love again, that's not true at all. I feel like you will meet someone new in the future. And again, I feel you have an understanding of what love is and what love should look like. And both parties try to aspire to that as well. Because of course, none of us are perfect, but I feel like you do find the perfect person for you. And for some of you, if you are like in a relationship already, I feel this is a month where your person could pop the question, especially if you're not engaged yet. You know, Six of Wands is like, you know, meeting a milestone, really raising you up, and maybe even taking you away for a little getaway and then popping the question. This person intends to marry you. 10 of Pentacles is marriage. In the resistance position, of course, you know, anything that's in the resistance position, it will turn into the upright. So I do have the both sides of the spectrum in this reading. Some of you perhaps in a long-term relationship, dissolving a marriage there and really cathartically kind of like processing it and moving on from it. I feel it's a real breakthrough for you. It's a release. It's like, okay, let's get busy living. And for some of you, it is, you know, your partner popping the question to settle down. And this person could do it. I feel like this person, they're quite romantic, whoever this person is, or they're trying to be. So it could be that they do try and propose to you in and around Valentine's Day or just after, perhaps, for some of you. Now, moving away from the energy, we have the Ten of Pentacles, which means you are focused on your family this month and, of course, your chores and your responsibilities. You're going to be very productive this month, but also I feel this is you replenishing your finances after a period of perhaps overspending that's coming through. I feel like you're, creating a budget. Some of you may actually utilize apps or some sort of like digital, program that helps you accumulate more money or even like account for your money. It could be something like a game app that kind of like gives you a bit of a buzz in you saving money. I don't know what that means. So I just feel like it could be spurring you on to learn something. For some of you, this could also be an app that spurs you on to learn a language, because I feel a lot of you are in the flows of learning a new language right now. It's going to transform, the way that you communicate in that country and could actually open you up to maybe even one day settling down in that country. This could be something that's on your mind. A lot of you are looking at where you belong because you're doing some major soul searching. And the Ten of Pentacles could also involve your family. Could be that you and your family are thinking about moving abroad or moving overseas or, basically moving somewhere. Could also be your parents or guardians, if they're on this earthly plane, telling you that they're thinking about moving or they're thinking about downsizing and taking some wealth out of the property so that they can go traveling, but at the same time purchase a smaller property because they're now downsizing. So I'm really getting this energy with that as well. Now, Ten of Pentacles is really about you enterprising. This is about you focusing on financial security. And some of you is also, increasing your wealth of knowledge, okay? And this could be that you're actually putting a wealth of knowledge into a new endeavor that will really expand and have international links there. Ten of Pentacles, I feel like you are also looking at loyalty, okay? We've got the Tower and we got the Moon there. I feel some of you could hear a secret. And it feels like, and I hate giving this, okay? It's almost like you may have told someone a secret or confided in someone. I just get an energy of a breach of loyalty, and I really don't like that energy, but I have to honor it. It's come through there. You may be told by a third party of a breach of confidence there, okay? And you may actually take the decision to sever ties with that friend. Now, I can't see if it's long-term. I feel the knee-jerk reaction is to end the friendship, okay? You may call them out on this experience, but I feel like you will kind of like turn your back on this friend. What I can see in February is like you isolate them, phase them out completely, okay? That's what's coming out there as well. But you treat this person accordingly and you teach them a higher boundary that they cannot cross. So this person, they may try to like offer an olive branch in the future, but I feel for some of you, you're interested to hear what they have to say, but ultimately, I feel like your decision is the same. You, my beautiful Pisceans, and of course, you will act accordingly, but I do see in the month of February, you may phase someone out because you feel that's unacceptable, okay? So that's coming out there as well. For some of you, this could be someone in your working environment, so it could be you avoid this person, perhaps. Now, I want you to be aware with the Tower and the Ten of Pentacles there, and the self-reflection. For some of you, this could be you intuitively protecting your finances in case there was some sort of market wobble that I mentioned there. It could be that you're looking into, how much the insurance is on certain amounts of money. If you're someone who is like super wealthy, for example, you'll be keeping an eye on that. You may even get a financial advisor this month to talk you through your options should there be any market changes there. Tower can represent a shock as well. Okay, so for some of you, I feel this is something that you have already experienced. So some of you could have gone through a very shocking experience that it feels like the carpet was like pulled from underneath you and you're healing this month. You feel very emotional. Some of you may actually want to get away to really process your feelings, and you may withdraw into self. I would say, looking at the energy, that withdrawing into self, of course, is important because you need to really process things, but don't spend too much time alone. I feel actually you have a lot of support, and there's someone in particular who you really can confide in. It's not the person who breaches your confidentiality, okay? I want you to be aware of that. But there is someone here who lends a very sympathetic ear, okay? And that just transforms, some of how you feel. Of course, you're going to be in the ebb and flow of like trying to process this, because I feel a lot of you fluctuating energy could occur from this, but I feel like you will rebuild and you will heal, okay? And you will be healing stronger than ever before. Whenever I see the Tower and the Death card straight after each other, this can indicate that something you've been enduring that has been painful or difficult comes to an end, okay? Something that shocks you did so to open new avenues for you. For some reason, I'm getting an energy here that sometimes we need to be shocked out of our comfort zone so we don't stay stagnant. We need to be in the flow. So I feel a lot of you, if you've hit a plateau in some area of your life, you could be given like a from the universe to say, hey, it's time to move or change or restructure in some way. Now, I would say with the Tower energy as well, that there may be some chaotic experiences that people around you are experiencing, but you avoid that this month. I feel, if anything, that you are protecting your inner peace and your inner sanctuary this month, and you don't allow other people's drama to manipulate your energy in any way. Also, I feel for some of you, there is an energy, if you're feeling a bit isolated or alone, this month I feel some of you actually join a group of people, okay? You may pay for this group of people, but it's something that you've challenged yourself to do, whether it is to learn a language or get involved in something in the community or hobby. I feel like there is one person that actually you start talking to and you become like inseparable. I feel it transforms your like schedule as well. It's like you and this person go traveling together, you go on events together. So if you have been feeling a bit isolated or lonely recently, I really feel that the universe is sending you a companion. You know, it doesn't have to be romantic in nature. So if you're not looking for love, I feel this is a person who just gets you, who just really sees you, understands where you're coming from, and there is a really strong bond and alliance between you and this person. Now, this is a big month to transform your life, okay? Because the Death card signals change. Now, I would say on like a more basic level, this could be a month where contracts come to an end, service providers, you know, renewals of contracts, perhaps insurance, expiry dates on like goods, or perhaps, you know, passport, visa, important legal structure documents as well. There could be something that's time sensitive that you need to pay attention to this month, but I feel looking at the energy, there could be like, I'll give you what I'm feeling. For example, if you live with your family or you address some of your items to your family home, for example, this could be a document or something that comes in and gets misplaced. So if you're waiting for an important document or something that has a time-sensitive, you know, date attached to it, I would say keep asking family members, did a parcel or an envelope or something come in for me today? Because I feel this person, they mean to tell you that it came in, but it just goes out of their mind, okay? And they just put it to the side like, oh, I'll tell Pisces later, and like they forget. So just watch out for that. I feel it's connected to the family. I mean, it could be your partner. It doesn't have to be. They're your family, of course, as well. But I'm just getting an energy of someone misplacing it or misplacing something that is actually important. And if there's a time-sensitive thing attached to it, it could be that it gives you a shock that you missed it. Okay, so just watch out for that, okay? Now, the Death card, it's like a resurrection of energy as well, a rebirth. So I do see a transformation in your energy, but also I feel this sense of like intention. Like you are on it, you're organized, you know what to do, you're clear thinking, you're articulate, you know, you are here to win the room this month. Whatever it is you're negotiating, whatever it is you're attaching yourself to, I really feel here that victory will be yours. And, you know, the Ace of Swords indicates that a lot of you are taking accountability and responsibility for your life. You're owning your truth and you have the courage of your conviction to make life happen for you. And already a lot of you are established, but you have extra power to move forward this month. But again, because you have the Death card there, this signals the beginning of something, the end of something. So I would say that this month, it could be that you're trying new things because you've reached a certain level in your life, or you feel that you're unstretched and you just need a little bit more spontaneity there as well. Now, of course, Ace of Swords is new ideas. A lot of you are like managing stress levels and just launching new things. and like really having faith in yourself. And I also feel with this Ace of Swords, this is a transformative card. It literally means transformation, the law of fate and karma, powerful change. You're going to see lots of synchronicities. I'm seeing 1212 right now in the water. Of course, I'm not looking at a watch or a clock. I'm seeing 1212 in the water. So this could be a number that's going to be important for you, or a number that you're going to see all the time, like on a receipt or a watch or clock or a door number or a cell phone number, for example. So look out for that. But also, the Ace of Swords, it indicates, the sword of truth, making a decision and finding a solution to anything that perhaps has been causing a problem. I would also say that if you're launching something, because this very much looks like a launch pad energy there, if you're launching something, make sure that you copyright your work for intellectual property. That's what I feel. I mean, the Ace of Swords often means cutting ties to the past. So I feel a lot of you could be getting over a shock or getting over some really difficult emotions and really kind of like saying, I've got to leave that there because it will continue to haunt me or destroy my mental peace, or it will bring me down as I'm trying to move forward. And I feel like you're setting yourself free in some area of your life. For some of you, it could be a cycle of repeat that you've been connected to, that you promised yourself at the beginning of the year that you wouldn't sort of slip into an old habit. Okay, so I feel like you are staying on top of that. So if you gave up like sugar, for example, or alcohol, or you gave up, negative thoughts, for example, I feel like you remain on top of that and you're so proud of yourself there as well. Some of you, if you are someone who is waiting for a procedure or an operation, for example, it could be that you hear suddenly that there is a new place available. It could be that someone decides to cancel their procedure and you get offered the opportunity. I feel like you're going to take it, and I feel like you're in the best hands. We got the King of Swords, someone who's very precise, very knowledgeable, knows their stuff, someone who is on top of their game. So you really are in, safe hands with that person. And of course, there's more butterflies here, lots of butterflies, which means transformation. It will transform your energy, and I feel it will allow you to be freer in your energy as well. Also, this card has international links. So it could be someone who has, international links as well. So it could be like a person from overseas who is a visiting practitioner, or for some of you, you may travel to a practitioner who has a lot of knowledge because you feel safer in their hands. Please take it as it resonates. But applying this to your energy, this indicates that you're in control of your month, you're in control of your feelings, and also it can indicate that you are making logical decisions this month. But I see here this soul searching, it brings new knowledge. And for some of you, of course, it could be that you're putting yourself in a course of learning, and that's where you kind of like graduate, because I'm getting this energy of graduation. For some of you, it could literally be graduation from, some sort of college or, some sort of course of learning, but it could be you graduating in the school of life, that you've learned a lot. You've learned to walk away from things and not allow them to affect you as much as they used to, or there's something in particular that you feel doesn't affect you anymore, and it has the potential to be triggered this month, but actually you avoid the trigger. It's like you're done with that. You're done with so many things right now, and I feel like you're not allowing yourself or your experiences to shrink, who you are, or even people. I feel like you're being confident, and I feel that you are kind of like moving on and having clarity of purpose this month. Now, what else am I seeing there? I'm seeing a pinball machine in the water, so it can indicate this is going to be a very busy month, that you are going to be multitasking. I also feel that, you're not allowing anyone to change your energy, because I feel it's a very high energy. The pinball machine is giving me very high energy vibes. What else am I getting there? I mean, it could be a measure of someone playing games, perhaps, and you just nip it in the bud. Higher boundaries there. You're basically drawing a line in the sand on something there. I feel it's a very cerebral month, mapping and planning. I'm seeing a map as well right now, so it could be that you're mapping something before you launch it, or you're strategically thinking about a move before you make it, because this is a card of thought and this is the card of action. So thoughts become things, and I feel a lot of you are reprogramming your thoughts. That's what I feel the majority of you are connected to. But also I feel news, because aces are gifts from the universe. Some sort of news comes in towards you. It will transform your month, and it sets you thinking about the possibilities of expansion, of opportunity. It means coming out of your comfort zone, but it's also a win, whatever it is. It feels exciting. It feels like you're a champion in some area. So that's coming out there as well. So, oof, look at that energy. We have the master. Look at that. As I said, you're mastering your thoughts. We've got the youth energy there as well, so having a lot more fun. We've got optical illusion. We've got pioneer. My guides want me to go again, so I will. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Pisceans? What do they need to know regarding February 2025? Okay, so we have the old car, and we've got the fishing pole. Okay, so gone fishing for a dream there. We've got pioneer. Okay, so lots of new ideas. Your brain and your synapses are going to be alive with wonderful ideas, especially with that Ace of Swords there. It says boldness, destination. Yeah, it says destination or bust. So you're all in, you're going for it, whatever it is. And I feel like you're going to win because you got that Six of Wands there. Trailblazing, true grit, challenge, navigating uncharted territory, resourceful, teaming up. Got your 6. Got your 6. Really interesting. You did get your 6. Here's the Six of Wands. That's highlighting that you got your 6. So that's success. That is victory. That's a win here. But it could also mean that, you got your 6 on your side. Maybe 6 people, perhaps. But it says here, unflappable courage. But I really want you to be aware, got your 6. What a random thing to have in a card, especially when you did get your 6. Okay, and more interesting as well is it's number 2 for the High Priestess and number 2 in this card. So look at your numerical synchronicities. We've also got optical illusion. Okay, that's the moon, the dreamy energy there. Not what it seems, mirage, trap, unclear, visual effect, confusion, head trip, trick, hallucination, hocus pocus, sleight of hand, projection, predictive programming. So some of you could be keeping an eye on, the things that lurk below the surface with that moon energy. I do feel for some of you, as I mentioned, a confidentiality breach. So it could be that someone on the surface is presenting as having your back, but actually they're gossiping behind the scenes. But also for some of you, it could be that, someone does something that shocks you. You may see it and you're questioning it, okay? Also, it could be the predictive programming that goes on in everything that we see. Advertisements, things that we're told. So it could be that you're just seeing things in a different way. Remember, this card is to seek the alternative. It is alternative news, for example. It is alternative options, thoughts. When you're a child, for example, and we look at the sky and we see all of the clouds and we see pictures in the clouds and we imagine what space could be looking like and everything like that, we build a picture in our mind of what it could be. Okay, and as we get older, humans, we're then told what it is, and we're told what it should be. And I feel when you're tapping into that more youthful side of yourself, you're allowing your imagination to run wild. Of course, truth is important. Being informed is important. And with that Ace of Swords and the King of Swords, you are informed. You are looking for the truth. But also, you're not being told what the truth is. I feel a lot of you are going in search of it for yourself. Okay, and that's the beauty of freedom. Okay, so a lot of you could be looking into that. I mean, for some of you, I was actually holding that and I saw special effects because it says there as well. What does it say? Visual effect. Some of you could literally be going into special effects, perhaps, or that's something that you do for a living, and that industry may change in some way, but I see a lucrative opportunity for you to really step into some sort of position that sees that you are the master of it, okay? The King of Swords is the master of craft, someone who gets the job done. Not a gender-specific reading, but it's someone who has incredible ideas and puts them into practice, thinks and strategizes before taking action. And you do have the master there. So you could be mastering something, but also when you master something, there is always that illusion that training stops there. No, we're always learning. So it could be that you've hit a plateau and you're moving forward. That's what masters do. They always accept that they never stop learning. So it says here, discipline, working smart, focus, structure, teaching, training, conquering, overcoming, controlled, learning a skill. I mentioned all of these things in your reading. In the flow, authoritarian, commanding presence. Now you do have a very commanding presence there. This is about owning your gravitas when you walk into a room, but also learning skills this month and being in the flow. And I would say as well, some of you may be using your knowledge in order to, put something online, because you have very air related cards. So I would say the ether works really well for you. If you are connected to the internet in some way regarding a business or an idea, it's going to do really well. Well, which segues me into this card. I just look what it is and it's well. So it literally is the word that I just used. It says here, deeper meaning, community, hidden emotions, nourishing, social resources, true feeling, support, savings, perception, sustenance, looking deeper, provided for, and consciousness. And I mean, that is your whole February right there. So it is about vast connection to the well of life and emotions and feeling, gut instincts and hunches. We've also got youth, so this is about being more spontaneous. You have a very young heart. And even though we're an adult and we're doing adulting things, this is about tapping into things that bring you joy. You may even get a compliment this month, especially at the end of the month, about how you don't look your age. But it says here, mutable, breaking free, rebellious, insecure, idealistic, on the verge, trying things out. Oh, yes. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. My guides gave me the word hormonal in the water. And because I was tapping into another energy, the word kind of like went away and it didn't come back. I don't mention it unless it comes back, but I did note it. I wish you could see what I can see. But some of you may conquer, a hormonal imbalance this month. Okay, you may find an organic or natural substance that really helps you maintain your hormones or keep them from fluctuating. So that's coming out there, especially with the moon energy. I should have mentioned that, but I didn't. So let's dismiss it. But it does say hormonal there as well. It also says finding self. Big month, finding self, reconnecting to parts of yourself that you feel like you've disconnected from. Impressionable, independent, receptive, strong-willed. And I definitely see all of that for you this month. We've also got old car, weary, retired, exhaustion. How dare they? Old car, retired. Anyway, let's move on from that. But it could be that you're fixing up an old car, perhaps when you're retired, or it could be that perhaps you are into revamping old cars. But it says exhaustion there, bone tired, needs restoration. I feel a lot of you could be restoring, things in the home, looking at things that are overdue. I feel that's connected to like a hard copy mail. Perhaps something you don't want to miss there. Old habits die hard. Now, this could be, as I said, you're on top of it. You're not being tempted to connect to an old habit. But I definitely see that, we do get tempted from time to time, especially when we're trying to, phase out a bad habit or something that's toxic for us. Family patterns, back in time, stuck in the past, nostalgia. Okay, so this could be something that you are breaking free of. I mean, it's another 8 there for you. You've got 3 8s actually, because you got that 8 of cups. So again, more numerical synchronicity. And finally, we've got a 9, which is the fishing pole, self-reliance. And it says extending oneself, autonomy, mentoring others, poetry in motion, exploration, providing contexts, and connect with nature, accomplishment, reflection, self-improvement, and capable. Big month for self-improvement and accomplishments. And I would say success across the board. Okay. Variety is the spice of life. So I do feel you trying to connect to all aspects so that you get the best out of every part of your life. And I feel, this is a great month to see that you're making a difference. Thank you so much for it, guys. Angels, can you please? Okay. So we have the turtle. Slow and steady wins the race, but also it's a measure that you're protected in your endeavors, okay? And I feel that what has been slow will pick up a little bit of pace at the end of February, okay? And I see that the pace quickens. I think that's what the pinball machine is connected to, a faster pace at the end of the month there. We've also got a flower, which represents fresh new start. So as we're moving into the spring periods, it can be that, new ideas are blossoming. But also I'm hearing from this, they love me not. They love me not. So some of you, if you're wondering if a person loves you, looking at the energy, I feel this person will shock you that they think about you a lot, and they may actually confess that they think about you more than they should, is how they put it, which can indicate that there's a little bit of an obsession there. So I feel someone could confess their feelings for you this month, which changes the dynamic. We've also got the wisdom rune, so a lot of new knowledge. Some of you may be learning as you earn, but also this can indicate that you're tested in some way, and I feel like you pass the test, whatever that is. So it could be a driving test. Some of you could be you're taking a driving test in an old car, okay, and then you're going to have to learn the ropes in a new car, because there's lots of newfangled gadgets in new cars these days. But this could also be advice, or knowing that you're in good hands when you get advice, okay? And finally, we got books, so lots of new knowledge, okay? Also, being the student of life, learning. And a lot of you are closing a chapter to your life this month and starting afresh, or starting something new, uncharted territory. I feel a lot of you, this is about knowing that you are full of wisdom, and that you can apply that wisdom to your life, and it will inform your direction in some way, because I feel like, intuitively you are really on point. Pay close attention to your hunches, okay? So I'll leave it there. If something resonates for you, please like or subscribe to my channel. Completely free for you. All you have to do is press that little notification bell. Lets you know when I update my next message. Lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is so important for me too. Also, if you'd like to be given the chance to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is visualize the earth in a golden healing light. I really feel we're going to need it this year, and that's all I ask of you, okay? If collectively we all visualize that, then we can make a difference. Thoughts really do become things, and we do feel and change energy. If you ever walk into a room where two people have argued, you can feel there's like bad vibes, right? Even if you didn't even hear the argument, you can feel it. That means the energy has come out of us, and it is circulating around the room where you can feel it. So if we just visualize the earth in a healing light, then we can make a difference. We can put all that energy out there and try and change the circumstances that we are in, okay? So when you've done that, please put it in the comments box below, an emoji of a heart and the world. And if you don't have access to emojis, then please write the words, earth and heart, or world and heart, and I will enter you into a competition, and I'll announce the winner towards the end of February, okay? So thank you so much, my beautiful Pisceans, and love and light.